Today let's learn the possessive adjectives in Spanish. So first let me explain which is the difference between the possessive adjectives and the possessive pronouns, okay? So both are possessives, but the adjectives always go before the noun, while the pronouns substitute the noun. So let me give you an example before we start reading these. If I say, this is my book, my is an adjective because it goes before the noun book, my book. Now, if I say, this book is mine, okay, or this one is mine, mine is a possessive pronoun, okay? So we have my is the adjective, mine is the pronoun, okay? Your is the adjective, yours is the pronoun, okay? The same difference we have in Spanish, only that the possessive adjectives in Spanish are called determinantes posesivos, while the possessive pronouns are called pronombres posesivos. So first let's start reading the possessive adjectives or determinantes posesivos, which are mi for my, and for the plural, if the noun is in the plural, we say mis. Okay, mis, for example, mi coche for my car, mis coches for my cars, plural. For your, we say tu coche for your car, tus coches for your cars. And for its, okay, its or his or her, okay, would be su for the singular and sus for the plural. For example, este es su coche. This is his car or her car. We'll say este es su coche for the singular, or estos son sus coches, for these are his cars or her cars. And it's also on its. So for example, if I want to say this is the dog's food, I will say esta es su comida, right? Su also works for its, for non male or female, I mean for things or animals, okay? Now our or our would be nuestro. Now look at these two also differentiate between masculine and feminine pronouns. So for example, the pronoun coche for car in Spanish is masculine, okay? So we will say estos son nuestros coches, right? Nuestros ends in O. Now if I want to say something feminine, a feminine pronoun, sorry, a feminine noun, like the word casa, casa for home or for house, okay? Casa is feminine, like all nouns that end with an A, okay? So casa is feminine, so if I want to say this is our home, I will say esta es nuestra casa. So instead of nuestro, it will be nuestra. And if I want to speak in the plural, I will say estas son nuestras casas, okay? Nuestras, plural, feminine. Now, for your plural, okay? You plural. There are two ways. In Spain, they use the pronoun vuestro, okay? And in Latin America, su. Maybe su will be easier because su, it is exactly the same as there, as the third person in the singular, in the plural, okay? And it also conjugates the same. Let's learn both, however. If I want to say, these are your things, okay? I'm talking of you all. These are your things. In Spain, they would say, estas son vuestras cosas, okay? Because cosas is feminine, vuestras, okay? Now, in Latin America, they would say, estas son sus cosas, okay? However, choose the one that is easier for you, because either way works in Spain or in Latin America, okay? And For their, yes, we would say sus, for example. These are their things. Estas son sus cosas. Or in the singular, this is their car. Okay? Este es su auto, without the S if it is singular. Let's see a few examples now. Mi coche es azul, for my car is blue. This is the possessive adjective, determinante posesivo. Juan es tu padre, for Juan is your father. Okay? Tu would be the possessive adjective. Now, pay attention to this. The word tu without the Spanish accent is the possessive adjective. However, the word tu with the Spanish accent mark, it is the subject pronoun you. Okay? This means you. So, tu without the Spanish accent mark means your. Tu with the Spanish accent mark means you. Okay? Now, su libro se perdió. His or her or its book got lost. Okay? Got lost. Su is a possessive adjective. Traje nuestras cosas. I brought our things. Okay? Cosas for things is feminine because it is a noun that ends in A. So we use nuestras in the feminine, okay? Here, A. And since it is a plural, because it ends in S, we also pluralize the possessive adjective, okay? In Spanish, the verbs are so specific, the conjugation is so specific that you can infer the subject from the ending of the verbal conjugation. That means that we do not need to explicitly add the subject pronoun. So I can say, yo traje nuestras cosas, right? But usually we leave out the subject pronoun I for, yo, which means I, okay? In Spanish we call this sujeto omitido, okay? So I can infer that the subject is I because of the ending of the verb in the present tense. Estos son vuestros hijos. This is a question. Estos son vuestros hijos. Are these your children? Are these your children? Now, look, I used vuestros as in Spain, but if in Latin America we would use sus. Estos son sus hijos instead of vuestros. Again, let me remind you, you can use either, okay? It doesn't matter. Again, the word hijo, son, is masculine, so we say vuestro, masculine. And since we are pluralizing the word son for sons or children, okay, we add an S for vuestros, okay? If it were daughters, we would say hijas, okay, and it would be vuestras hijas. And our last sentence is, ella perdió su trabajo. She lost her job. She lost her job. Now, how do I know that this su stands for her and not for his or for its? Because here we explicitly added the subject pronoun ella. The sentence would be perfect if I omitted the subject pronoun and I would just say perdió su trabajo. It's perfect, right? There is nothing missing there grammatically. However, like this, I wouldn't know if I'm talking about him or about her. Therefore, I include the pronoun ella for her. And this way I know that it's su means her and not his. Ella perdió su trabajo. She lost her job. In our next class, we learn the Spanish possessive pronoun.